You are watching. Pause. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 207, Technical Difficulties. These times, almost no matter what we do, it is common that we make use of some sort of technology. Now, when you are watching me doing this video, I am making use of different sorts of technology. And all of these different parts need to work. So this video would not be if not every piece of technology here would be up and running. And the technology that you're seeing here, it's the camera there, the microphone here, and the CD player here. They are quite predictable. It is not very likely, at least I have not experienced it yet, knock on wood, that any of them have malfunctioned. And that is what I like about them. They just work. However, in our times now, that is perhaps seldom the case. Often now, we find ourselves making use of different technologies that just often malfunctions. Technology now is becoming more and more advanced. It can do more and more things. That is clear. The technological frontier, if you will, is moving forward. At the same time, in our daily lives, we are seeing that often do we reach points when the technology we're making use of, need to make use of, just fails. Today's episode is called Technical Difficulties. And what we're doing today is that we are talking about how that feels when we reach those moments, those points when technology fails us. When technology fails, often it is something as simple, if you will, and common as our internet connection, our Wi-Fi. Often the internet or the Wi-Fi just fails, doesn't work, and it comes very suddenly, just like that. Internet stops working, or the connection between our device, our computer, phone, and the internet just is cut off very suddenly. And that feeling is surprisingly strong. At best, when technology malfunctions, we feel slightly irritated, annoyed, at best. And at worst, sometimes when technology fails us, we can feel something close to a full-blown panic. It happens. It happens to me. So the situation we're talking about today, the emotional situation we're talking about today, is our acute situation. Our acute situation is whenever something sudden happens to us that affects us a lot. When something suddenly pulls the rug from underneath our feet, suddenly takes away our sense of control. That is our acute situation. And the emotional skill that we're talking about today, the Polaroid that we're talking about today, for our acute situation, is specific skill, weight, and balance. So now, when you're watching me sitting here, in this moment, you can see that I'm feeling heavy. Down into my chair, down into the floor, down throughout my body. You can see that I am quite heavy, at least. And you can also see on the picture here, picture of me lying on the floor, just feeling heavy. So whenever technology fails us, when we have technical difficulties, suddenly we lose our weight and balance. So one moment, let's say it's the internet connection breaking. So one moment when the internet is working, we have a sense of weight and balance where we are here. And then suddenly it goes away. goes away like that. And that's what's so scary about making use of many modern technologies, that yes, the technology in itself is amazing. It can do a bunch of stuff, a bunch of new, unprecedented stuff. But how we relate to the technology, how it feels to be us using it, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. So what we're talking about today is that we seldom pause and just recognize that the technology failing is something else than how it feels to be us when the technology is failing. Those are two different things. So the consequence often is that when some technology is failing us, we have a hard time picking ourselves up. We're so focused on fixing the technology, making it work again, troubleshooting, as you can say. We get so single-minded on fixing the technology that we leave ourselves behind. And at that moment, when we leave ourselves behind, we lose what? Yes, we lose our weight and balance. And it goes like that. And at that moment, we pause for a second or two and simply acknowledge that, yes, I lost my weight and balance. I lost my composure. I really thought that this moment was very difficult. So one of my wishes, as me and my spouse have sort of put together this this setting for these videos, is to have the technologies at hand that I'm making use of here, to have them feel in such a way, predictable in such a way, that at least this setting is sort of quite predictable. Because this is a very real thing, that our everyday lives are affected a lot by every time some technology stops working. And now, in the situation we are looking at in the world, in our societies, we are making ourselves increasingly dependent on advanced technology. And I think it's probable that we will see many situations like this going forward now. And imagine that when we lose our internet connection, when we are at home an ordinary day, we might lose our weight and balance very much. Then imagine in a real crisis situation, in the times we're living in right now, if technology fails us at an actually dangerous situation. That is not good. That is not good. For us, that's not good. And that's why we pause for a second or two and take today's episode, take this chance to just recognize this, that it's really tough on us when technology malfunctions. So in a potentially dangerous situation, it will not be very nice. It can actually affect the outcome greatly. It can. And that's what specific skill, weight and balance is for, to sort of make a habit out of just pausing and feeling heavy and balanced. Not too much leaning forward and not too much leaning backwards, but being sort of centered and balanced. As much as we can, at least. Within reasonable limits. But at least we try. That's it for today. Thank you.